In this video, I'm going to talk about compound interest and the general idea of how it works. And to do that, I'm also going to talk about simple interest and compare and contrast the two so that we can have a better understanding of both. And so with interest, really there's two different types of scenarios that could be going on with interest. So you could either be borrowing money, and in that case, you're paying interest, or you could be investing money, like putting it in a bank account or another type of investment, and in that case you're earning interest. And so for the sake of just, explanation to make it simple, let's just assume we're talking about this scenario, and the calculations are the same regardless of which scenario it is. So let's say you're investing money, and so in this case you're earning interest. And so let's compare and contrast the two. So with simple interest, you're only earning on the money that you put in. So simple interest, you earn interest, which is a percentage, only on the money you invest. So the principal. Okay, with compound interest, you're earning money in two ways. So you earn money just like simple. So you do earn interest on the principal, the amount you put in, and so this is the important part, you earn money or interest on the interest that was previously accrued. And so this reinvestment of interest is called compounding. And so the most important part, and I'm going to highlight it here too, is we earn interest on the interest as time passes with compounding interest. And so if you're investing money, compounding interest is much more valuable of an investment. If you're borrowing money or paying interest, on a loan, compounding interest would be not as good of an option for you because you're going to end up paying more in the long run. So let's go ahead and we're going to do a really simple example where we look at a principal of $5,000 that's invested over 3 years at 4%. Let's find the amount of simple interest. And so I'm going to use the simple interest formula, I equals PRT, and I'm going to take the principal of $5,000, multiply it by 0.04, so that's the decimal equivalent of 4%, and then 3 years. And so I'm going to multiply those all out. And you can see I've earned $600. So that's earned. Okay, and so now I'm going to look at what would happen if we invested that money into an account that was compounded, so the interest was compounded, and it's calculated once per year. So with compounding, it's a little bit more complicated because depending on the banking institution or where you're investing money, it could be compounded in, daily, yearly, biweekly. There's a lot of different ways or frequencies that it could be compounded, but for simplicity's sake, we're just going to calculate once a year. So I'm going to look at year one. I'm going to start in the beginning. So in the beginning, I have a balance of $5,000. And so I'm going to take that $5,000 and I'm going to calculate the interest. And so that's really simple. You just take the $5,000 and you multiply it by the percentage. So the percentage is 0.04. So $5,000 times 0.04, and we get $200. So that's the amount of interest that's earned after year one. So I put in $5,000, I earned $200. Pretty cool. And if you look at the simple interest, in 3 years, I earned $600. So if you divide 600 by 3, that's $200 a year also. So after year one, I'm pretty much even with the two different types of interest. Okay, at year two, now I don't have a balance of $5,000. I have a balance of $5,000 plus the $200 that I earned from the previous year. So my balance is $5,200 now. So to calculate the interest, I'm going to take the $5,200 and multiply it by 0.04. So the key here, what's great for the consumer that's, or the person that's the investor, I should say, not the consumer, that person is earning money not just on that $5,000, but on that $200 that they earned in interest last year. So I'm going to take 5,200 now and multiply it by 0.04. And you'll see I get a bigger answer in interest because now my balance is larger. So now my interest after year 2 is $208. So you can see that it's growing, it's increasing. So now at year 3, I'm going to take my previous balance, which is 5,200, add the 208, okay, and I get 5,408. And so I'm going to take 5,408, so that's my balance at year 3, times the 4.04, the 4%, so 5,408 times 0.04, and you can expect the interest is going to go up again because my principal went up. So, and it did, so $216.32. So now it increased again. So it keeps going up. Let's find the total interest after the 3 years. So I'm going to add the 200 plus the 208 plus the 216.32, and we end up getting a grand total of $624.32. Not 33, 32. There we go. And so if you compare, so that's with compounding, that's with compound interest. Okay, and then the simple interest, remember we earned 600. And so we earned more money just by investing it into an account that is compounded, where the interest is compounded. And again, if you're in a situation where you're borrowing money, that would not be a good thing, because let's say you were borrowing $5,000 for 3 years at 4%, you would have to pay $600 in interest with simple interest, or you'd have to pay $624.32 with compounding interest. So hopefully this helps at least start, helps you start to understand the difference between the two types of interest. And we're going to do a lot more examples in this module that will hopefully help you understand compound interest even more.